Everyone wants to be rich, but not everyone knows how to think in order to become rich. That's why books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill was created, is so that we can learn on how we can think in order to become rich. In today's book summary, I'm going to be breaking down the 10 core life lessons from this book so that way you can get the most out of this video and out of this book summary. So let's get right into it right now. Core lesson number 1, our thoughts create our reality. Okay, now this is so important because our thoughts are literally the beginning of everything. And what you gotta understand is that what we think about all the time is what we create out here, is who we become, is what we receive. You gotta understand that our thoughts create emotion, okay? When we think of something, it creates emotion, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. Whatever it may be, our thoughts literally create everything. So when it creates the emotions, our emotions will also dictate how we feel, and how we feel dictates on the action that we take. And from our actions there, you already know, our actions create our reality. So it all starts with thoughts. And if we do not think of positive things, we don't think of ways that we can uplift ourselves or think in a way where we are growing, then we are by default setting ourselves up for failure. So it all starts there. It all starts in the thinking, okay? A lot of problems in the world, there are people that have lots of problems and pains and suffering. It all comes from their way of thinking. If their thinking was corrected, if their thinking was better, they would get out of that hole a lot quicker and they would learn a lot faster. That's why this book is called Think and Grow Rich, okay? Not backflip and grow rich, or, sit at home on bed and grow rich. It's none of that. It's Think and Grow Rich. So that's number 1. Lesson number 2, in order to achieve your goals and become rich, you must have a burning desire for it, okay? This isn't something that you can just want to have. This isn't something that you just kind of want it. It's something that you must have a burning desire for. It's something that you gotta think about so much. Like, it's the first thing that you think about when you wake up in the morning. It's the last thing that you think about before you go into bed. You gotta be wanting and have the desire to want it so bad that you're thinking about it all the time, all right? That's what it takes in order to achieve your goals and to really get it. A lot of the extraordinary people and leaders all around the world, if you ever see how they are and how they operate in their business, in their life, they're always obsessed with that one thing that they are an expert in, okay? So in order to achieve your goals, once again, you must have a burning desire. Lesson number 3, the power of belief. In order to achieve your goals, you must be able to believe it in here. If you don't do that, then when you actually achieve your goals or when you actually get there, most of the time we tend to self-sabotage, all right? That's one of the things that we tend to do when we actually achieve the goals if we don't believe that we actually deserve it. What you gotta do is you gotta be able to build a belief inside of your brain, inside of your mind, that you can do it, that you can attain it. Because whatever we believe in here, we can absolutely achieve out here. And one of the great ways to do that is actually creating some sort of routine or exercise where you auto-suggest to yourself. You suggest affirmations like, I am worthy, I am confident, I am powerful, I am deserving of all the good things in life. Those are the type of conversations that you should have with yourself in terms of, self-suggestion in order to build that belief. So until your belief is built, it's going to be very hard to become rich or achieve whatever goal that you want. You must have that belief. And in order to do so, you gotta exercise it. You gotta work it like a muscle. Lesson number 4, knowledge. Obviously, if you wanna get rich, you gotta have knowledge. Whatever industry or niche or whatever you wanna do in life, if you wanna be rich, you have to have knowledge. In this book, Napoleon Hill talks about 2 kinds of knowledge. There's general knowledge where you kind of know a little bit of everything, or you know this, you know that. But then there's specialized knowledge, and that's the knowledge that you want. Specialized knowledge is what makes you go from mediocre skills all the way to phenomenal skills, to extraordinary skills. And in order to do that, you must have knowledge. You can't just have general knowledge and expect yourself to become really rich, because people who are rich, the people who are great, are the people who have specialized knowledge, who are experts in that field. So if you want to be rich in whatever field that you are in, acquire specialized knowledge, and it'll be everybody in your field that has general knowledge. Lesson number 5, imagination. You gotta have imagination. And I feel like as we get older, we lose our sense of imagination, our sense of, our ability to be able to visualize future events, future life, future career, future love, whatever it may be. Imagination is what keeps us young in our minds. And the moment that we lose that, we lose our power. Okay, so do not lose your imagination. I want you to understand this, okay? There's two types of imagination the older that we get. There's the synthetic imagination and there's a creative imagination. And give me a second to explain what those two are. The synthetic imagination is a record of our past, our history, all the things that we've done in the past thus far, right? A lot of people try to create their lives out of their imaginations of their past. So everything in your past clearly is not where you want to be in the future, right? Because if you keep doing the same thing from your past over and over again, you're just going to get the same thing over and over again. So in order to get past that, to get rich, to achieve something that you've never had, you must be able to imagine yourself doing something that you've never done, right? To achieve something you've never had, and that's called the creative imagination. That's something that is not limited, it's not held back by your past. The synthetic imagination, you must be able to operate with your creative imagination, which is moving forward. Whenever you operate with your synthetic imagination, you're moving backwards and you're staying in the past. That's the synthetic imagination. If you want to move in the future, do something, like I said, that you've never done, and have something you've never had, you must be able to imagine something in the future. Lesson number 6. Obviously, you know where you want to go. You know the things that you want to achieve. But now it's all about creating the blueprint, a plan in order to get there. And Napoleon Hill talks about having a plan, right? Planning your action, planning the steps ahead in order to get there. Now, granted, you don't have to create the entire blueprint to get to all the way to point Z. You just got to create the plan from A to B first, right? Do one step at a time. And I always love this quote. It's the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. All you need to do is create the blueprint for the next logical steps. And then from there, you'll be able to see farther. And from there, when you're able to see farther, you're able to create the next steps. So create a blueprint for yourself in order to get to your final destination. Lesson number 7, the power of masterminds. Now, you probably already know that who we surround ourselves with is who we become. If we're hanging around 5 crackheads, most likely we're gonna become number 6. And I say that out of love because if you show me your friends, I'll be able to tell you what your future is going to look like. If you want to become rich, if you want to become successful, or you want to be great at anything, the best way and the fastest way to get there is first by surrounding yourself with people who are already there or who are on their way there. So make sure you're around the right people and have the greatest masterminds possible for your life and for your outcome. Sexual transmutation. Now, this one is a little bit weird and a lot of people are really confused about this chapter, but what it really means is that our creative energy is also our sexual energy. That energy that we use to create life, to make a baby, that same energy, we can convert it to create the life that we want on the outside world, in our careers, in our love life, in our relationships, whatever it may be, that is creation energy and we can use it to create whatever. Now, if we're, going to these other websites, watching these videos and releasing our energy all the time, releasing here, releasing there, how do you expect to have enough energy to be able to put it in places that's going to help you become rich or help you become financially, independent, whatever your goal is? So sexual transmutation is just simply understanding your energy. Where you're placing your creative energy is where you're going to create things, okay? So if you're spending it, just releasing it left and right, then you're not gonna have a lot of energy when you're actually stepping into your office or you're stepping into your work environment to create that life that you want. And if that's to be rich, you can't be, shooting everywhere. And that's why the no fap trend has been really, really big, because a lot of men are discovering a lot of power in semen retention and in holding their sexual energy on the inside and being able to convert and transmute it throughout their entire body and minds. And from there, you will learn the secrets on creating the life that you want. So that's lesson number 8. Lesson number 9, your subconscious. Now, whatever we think about every single day, not just think, but what we say to ourselves, all gets stored inside of our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is like an old archive. It holds the record of everything that we've ever said to ourselves, everything that we've ever done, everything that's ever, happened to us, good or bad. And it's created this form of reality, right? Of reality of how we see and, perceive the world. And most of the time, the way that we were raised or we were programmed, it's not for us to be rich, unless you were blessed with amazing parents that were really, really rich and they taught you the entire way. You gotta be able to learn on how to reprogram your subconscious, be able to almost like objectively look at your thoughts every time negative emotions come in or negative thoughts come in, and be able to convert it, transmute it, turn that negative into a positive emotion. So our subconscious is literally everything, and we have to be very, very careful on what we take in. Not just that, not just from other people, but from social media, from our phone, from TV, things like that. A lot of people care about their physical diets of like what they should be putting into their bodies, but they should be caring about what they're putting into their minds even more. So be careful of the things that comes in your subconscious, and be careful of the words and the thoughts and the emotions that you create for yourselves on the inside as well, because all of that goes into your subconscious. And in order to be great, in order to be really, really rich, you got to be able to reprogram your subconscious to be rich. And lesson number 10, face your fears. We have so many fears in our lives, like fear of loss of love, fear of failure, fear of death, fear of ill health, fear of rejection. There's so many fears that are inside of our lives that's holding us back from becoming the person that we want to be. So, in this chapter, he talks a lot about fear and why it holds us back, but I want to switch it up and tell you that what you need is to be to have the ability to build your courage. Being courageous, being brave, just simply means that you still carry on in the face of fear. And from there, you'll be able to get better and better at it every time fear comes up, whether it's for love, money, health, relationships, wherever it is. I want you to understand that gold, treasure, all that great stuff in life is always outside your comfort zone. So therefore, there will always be a little bit of fear around it. But courage and bravery is like a muscle. You're able to train it. You're able to smash it out of the park little by little. But you got to take that first step in order to get there. So those are the 10 life lessons that I've boiled down from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill for you guys. I've also put chapters in the not the comment box, but in the description box below. So that way you can go back to any of the lessons, any of the life lessons, in order to listen again, to hear it again, and maybe even take notes. So that way you can figure out what you need to work on and what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, right? Because the number one thing about getting rich or being great at anything is, one, understanding yourself and learning on how to think better. So that way you can be rich in every way possible. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this book summary. My name's Quan the Alchemist. If this is your first time on my channel, just know that we are here to be able to help you become the best version possible through growth, productivity, and life mastery. Hit that like button below if this video has helped you, and make sure you subscribe and turn on notification bell as well, because I'll be releasing videos every single week to help you get more rich and to help you be the best versions, like I said earlier. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.